is your first time, welcome to my channel. I am going to be making some pump bottles for dispensing of soap, hand soap. Little bottles here, and I will mix up some different colors. I've got an order right now for 5 jars. So we're going to make these for my customer. Special order. There's no rush on it, so we can take our time doing them little by little. And like I say, I've got a turner over here that accommodates 2 of our glass bottles at a time. So without further waiting, let's start the process, and I'll show you what I have to do on my channel in order to accommodate these bottles to the PVC pipe. It's a rig, but it works. My husband fixed it up for me, so it works. And I hope you're having a good day. It's been raining here in Northwest Florida. Started about maybe 9 o'clock this morning or 9:30, and pretty much all day today. It's been a drizzly, rainy day. But I was up late last night playing cards with my husband and a couple of other couples, and we didn't get to bed till like 1 o'clock this morning, and I didn't sleep well. So when we got home from taking care of our little granddaughter today, I took a nap. So I'm kind of late in the day getting started. But anyway, we're going to start and see how it goes, and I'll show you how we connect these jars to the holder and the turner. So stand by. So okay, here's the jar, and here's my rig that my husband worked up for me. Thank goodness for men that know how to do all kinds of things. So it's a piece of PVC pipe, and it has a spring here, oh goodness, I forgot what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's in a bolt here, nut here, to tighten it down onto my bottle. I'll have to ask him what these are called. But as you can see, it's been used for several bottles that I've made and sold. So I'll press this on here and get it as straight. And you can see I got it down right to the rim of the bottle. I move this down so it hits the place where it holds onto my bottle so it doesn't slip. And then I'm going to tighten it up, and it'll hold the bottle on there. So we'll see what happens from here. I'll do the same thing to the next bottle after I get this one on. So we'll tighten this down and get it secure onto the bottle, and then I'll do my next one. Okay, well, I've got the jars attached to the PVC pipe, and I'm getting ready to place them on here. I've got one already, as you can see, on the turner. So we'll get this one placed on here. And then the next thing, as you see, I've got my gloves on already. The next thing I'll be doing is spritzing some alcohol that I've got in this little bottle here. I think it's 91% alcohol. Spritzing it on here, and then making sure that I have any fingerprints or any oil residue from my hands off the bottle so that the paint will stick to the bottle. Making sure everything is clean as can be with no oil residue. That's what I'm doing now. Be as thorough, or you'll be disappointed if you have any blank spots where the colorant does not adhere to your jar. So be as diligent as you can to make sure you've wiped it all down good and clean. And now we'll go over to my other table and mix up some colorant. The first bottle they wanted was red with a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white, and a hint of black. So that was very specific. So let's see if we can go ahead and mix up some resin that accomplishes those colors. And I'll be right back with you. And probably going to mix up about 1 ounce total. Should be more than enough. And the next one indicates brown with a little yellow and white. So if I have some yellow and white left over from this first one, then I can use it in the next bottle with the browns. So let's get to mixing. And I'm using KS resin. It says Liquid Art Ultra Epoxy. And there's a part A and a part B. You see, I've already used over half a bottle making other art here. So I'll put a 1/2 ounce of A and a 1/2 ounce of B in my little cup. And then I'll mix it together, and then we'll sort it into other little cups and get our colors mixed in so that we'll have enough colors to make the bottle. Okay, here's part A. And a half, and this will be B. I like to mark it so that if I need to add some more, I make sure I get it in the correct cup. I know I'm a little bit over the edge with that, but I've had some friends have not marked it and they've had a B, B, and an AA, and it won't work. So you got to make sure that you have the A and the B. So I'm first off pouring my A, and then we'll do the B. Okay, now I've got my equal parts of A and B. I'm going to mix them up in this cup here, and then we'll have the colors. We're going to do, this is Creative Inspirations Permanent Red, Creative Inspirations Lamp Black, and then I'm using Naples and Liquitex Titanium White. So I will mix up 2 A and B's, and then we'll divide it out among these colors. Okay, I've got my A and B mixed in here. I will diligently try to incorporate the A and the B very well, very mixed. You don't want any spots where it hasn't been mixed correctly or completely. So just take your time. KS asks that you mix for 4 minutes. So I've got my timer set, and I will mix this for 4 minutes, and I'm diligently scraping the sides of my cup, the bottom of my cup. Continue to do the sides and all around so that it is mixed up very, very well. You'll be unhappy if you haven't done that. So make sure you accomplish that. Just thought I'd mention, sometimes 4 minutes seems like a long time when you're doing things like this. And sometimes, as you know, 4 minutes is gone in a flash, and you burned your cake, or you've let the water run too long and it's overflowed in the sink or the bathtub. Isn't that interesting? 4 minutes can mean such a difference. I just thought that was interesting to think about while I'm sitting here making KS resin. And I do have an affiliate link, which I will put in my description if you're interested in ordering some and getting a discount with my link. I'm in a well-lit bedroom here in my home, and I don't need the protection of the respirator, but always wear your gloves when you're mixing and working with resin. You don't want to get it on your skin. Could cause rash. So I'm mixing, waiting for my 4 minutes to get up. I also will tell you that there are times when my room may be cooler or the weather outside may be cooler. We live in Florida, so sometimes we have the air on a lot, where it's a lot cooler in my home than other times. So there are times when I'll just sit this in a little bowl of hot water, or at least warm water, while I'm mixing, and it does take some of the bubbles out. Okay, I've got my red mixed up, and of course red is my primary color that she asked for. So I've got that mixed up, and I just like a and a half of this. I just squeezed it out of the container, and then I had my Naples yellow, but it was a little bit more orangey than yellows. I put a drop of yellow, Creative Inspirations Cadmium Yellow also. And then she said a little bit of white, so I've got my white, and she said a black. So let's go on over to the jars, and let's see what we can do. And I do have some leftover in case I need it to mix up some more real quick. So let's go over to the jars and see how we're going to work this out. So I'm going to start with this one right here. As you know, we've already cleaned it, used the alcohol and the wipe and cleaned it. I'm going to turn it on so it begins to spin. And I do like it spinning away from me rather than to me. I like for it to go this way. So I'll begin putting the red on, and then I'll intermingle some of the yellow, the white, and the black, and let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. And I've just got this here to catch some of the colorant as it falls down. So let's just go with it and see what happens. Just turning slowly, and I'm putting the red colorant on here. I'll pick up some of this, and we'll go from there. Okay, I've got the red all on here, and she said a little yellow. So we're going in with some yellow. Let's see what happens. To make it very stringy, and she wanted a little bit of black and white. This will be an interesting jar when I'm finished with it, and I hope she likes it. I like the way the color is going on. I like the string effect. I don't like dots that much. Okay, let's see what the white and the black add to it. Be interesting. She Set a little and a black. And I'm a novice at this. I am learning as standing here and trying to figure out exactly what, my client wants. So hopefully she will be happy with it. And I went up as far as I could on the neck of the bottle without getting it stuck to my turner. It actually is turning out pretty pretty, I think. What do you think? Might come back with a little bit more yellow. We'll see. All right, a hint of black, she said. Hint, hint. All right, here comes some black across there. I like it more stringy. Put a little bit up here on the edge. Yeah, that actually doesn't look bad, does it? I think my hint of black is enough. What do you think? Okay, I think I will put a little bit more yellow on. I really like the way this yellow is looking when it goes on. And it'll keep turning and turning and turning, and all these, they'll remain separated as such because I'm not going to use the heat gun on it. I'm not going to blow it because then the colors would just mesh together. So, like some right there, I think. So, as it's turning, these colors will continue to develop. And they won't turn into one another as long as I don't use the heat gun. I wanted to get some yellow right up here in the mouth of the jar. Okay, I want to get a little bit of black right down here at the bottom as it comes back around again. Just a little, here it comes. Okay, let's just let that turn. Put a little bit of white right here as a large blob of yellow and try to disperse it a little bit. Well, we'll see. Let me turn it a little bit so you can see a little better. It's an interesting combination of colors, that's for sure. And I'm wondering what room it's going to go in. I'd like to see it once the lady or whoever her friend is gets it so that I can understand why she wanted these particular colors. So we'll see. I did see a bubble, so I'm going to get my torch and get a few of the bubbles out. But very, very few. I think I only saw 3 or 4 bubbles. Let me wipe my hands off real good before I pick up my torch. And this torch is one of the kitchen type torches that chefs use to make creme brulee. And let me find some bubbles. Just really hit it as it goes around, clear out any bubbles, and we'll see what she thinks about it. I'll send her a picture. It's very smooth. It's looking good. We'll see what she thinks. Hopefully she'll say, yeah, that's what I wanted. One good thing about and other bottles that I've made and other like coasters that I've made is I can get the colorant off and then reuse the bottle. I make night lights also, and I had some that didn't sell. So I took the color off, I took all the designs off and redid it and made them into more like ocean night lights, and then they sold. So there's always, you're not wasting anything whenever you make something for somebody or make something in your mind that you think people might like, and then they don't like it, and then you're disappointed and feel like you've lost some money with your products. But if you'll think about it, figure out how you can remedy the situation, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's continue on, and I will make the other one and see how she likes it. And I'll keep you informed.